You keep saying you'll start tomorrow, even after years of tomorrows that never came. What if the one thing keeping you safe is actually the same thing slowly erasing your future? In this video, I'll share 7 science-backed truths about your comfort zone that will completely change the way you see your own potential. Starting today, I discovered this the hard way. After spending 3 years in a job I hated, an apartment I never left, and a life that felt smaller every single month, I thought I was being smart. Turns out, I was just being scared. The problem is, most people confuse comfort with safety. They're not the same thing. Comfort is familiar, safety is growth. And neuroscience now proves that a brain kept too comfortable actually begins to deteriorate. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify your comfort zone traps, break free without panic, and build a life your future self will actually be grateful for. Let's dive in. Here's something that nobody tells you. Your brain actively fights against your growth. And it's not a character flaw, it's biology. Your brain has a built-in system called the homeostasis loop. Its entire job is to keep things predictable. Every time you consider doing something new, asking for the promotion, starting the business, joining the gym, your brain fires off alarm signals designed to pull you back to the couch, back to the familiar, back to small. Research from the University of Pittsburgh found that the brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making, literally suppresses novel actions when comfort patterns become too deeply ingrained. Dr. Gregory Burns, a neuroscientist at Emory University, calls this a comfort default. Your brain doesn't want to change. It wants to survive. And to your brain, the unknown equals danger. The same system that kept our ancestors away from predators is now keeping you away from potential. The moment you feel resistance, that tight chest, that voice saying, maybe later, recognize it, label it out loud. This is my comfort default firing. Research shows that simply naming an emotional response reduces its intensity by up to 50%. Second, ask yourself, is this actual danger or just unfamiliarity? Third, take one tiny action toward it anyway. Not the whole leap, just one step through the door. But recognizing the trap is only step 1, because there's something even darker happening beneath the surface. Most people don't know this, but your comfort zone doesn't stay the same size if you don't expand it. It actually shrinks. Think of it like a muscle. A muscle you never use doesn't just stay neutral. It atrophies. It gets weaker. Your psychological comfort zone works exactly the same way. Every time you avoid a challenging conversation, skip the opportunity, or choose the safe option, your zone contracts slightly. Do it for months, do it for years, and suddenly, things that used to feel normal now feel terrifying. Psychologist Dr. Susan Jeffers, author of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, documented this extensively. Avoidance behavior is self-reinforcing. The more you avoid, the more your brain confirms the threat is real. And neurologically, every avoided challenge strengthens the avoidance pathway in your brain through a process called synaptic pruning. Your brain literally prunes away your courage over time. Audit your last 30 days. Write down 3 things you used to do that you've quietly stopped, not because you decided to, but because they started feeling uncomfortable. Those are your shrink points. Pick one. Do it this week. Not perfectly, just once. That one action starts reversing the shrink. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because your comfort zone isn't just affecting what you do, it's affecting who you become. This next one is crucial, and honestly, it might be the most uncomfortable thing in this entire video. Every version of who you could become requires a version of you that was willing to be uncomfortable. Every dream, every goal, every relationship you want, on the other side of it is a more capable version of you. But that version only exists if you go get it. When you stay comfortable too long, you don't just delay the dream. You begin to drift away from the identity of the person who would ever achieve it. Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck's research on identity and growth mindset confirms this. Who we believe we are directly controls what we attempt When you stop doing hard things, your self-concept quietly updates. You stop seeing yourself as someone who figures things out. You start identifying as someone who plays it safe. And once that identity takes hold, it's deeply hard to shake. Rewrite your self-narrative. Right now, instead of saying, "I'm not good at putting myself out there," say, "I'm someone who is learning to push boundaries." That shift is not fake positivity. It's neurological reprogramming. Pair it with one identity-aligned action per day. Small ones count. Speak up in one meeting. Text the person you've been avoiding. Each small action is a vote for the person you're becoming. But there's a reason we don't do this naturally, and it's one of the most misunderstood forces in human psychology. Now, you might be thinking, but isn't staying safe? Well, safe. Here's the hard truth. No, it isn't. The comfort zone sells you a lie. It tells you that not acting carries no risk. But in a world that is constantly moving, standing still means falling behind. The job market changes. Relationships evolve. Industries collapse. Skills become obsolete. The person who stays comfortable today wakes up 5 years from now, confused about why everything passed them by. Economists call this opportunity cost, the price you pay, not in money, but in possibilities lost. But psychologists have another term: stagnation, anxiety. Research from the Journal of Positive Psychology found that people who remain in prolonged comfort zones report higher long-term anxiety than those who regularly challenge themselves, even though challenging people feel more short-term discomfort. The avoidance doesn't reduce the fear. It manufactures a deeper one. Flip your risk calculation. Before you avoid something, ask, what is the cost of not doing this in 5 years? Write it down. Make the invisible cost visible. Then compare it honestly to the cost of trying and failing. Almost always, the cost of inaction is far heavier than the cost of an attempt. Start making not trying feel like the scarier option. All right, so now that we've named the trap, the shrink, the identity drift, and the false safety illusion, let's talk about how to actually break free. This next strategy sounds almost too simple, but I'll tell you right now, it's changed more lives than any complicated system I've ever seen. The 2-0. Second courage rule was popularized by author Mel Robbins, though its roots go back to behavioral activation therapy. The idea is devastatingly simple. Most moments of avoidance only require 20 seconds of insane courage to break through. Sending the scary email takes 20 seconds. Raising your hand takes 20 seconds. Making the call takes 20 seconds. That's it. After those 20 seconds, momentum takes over. Neuroscience confirms that hesitation amplifies fear. The longer you wait after deciding to do something, the more your amygdala, the brain's fear center, escalates the threat signal. E5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown method studied by neuroscientist Drive Taraswart at MIT shows that immediate physical action interrupts the anxiety loop before the brain can override your decision. You bypass the alarm. You act before the full fear arrives. This week, identify one thing you've been putting off due to fear or discomfort. When the moment comes to do it, don't think, count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then move. The count is not a stall. It's a launch pad. If it's a conversation, start with just the first sentence out loud. If it's an application, just open the page. First movement breaks the freeze, every time. But momentum is only useful if you're aimed in the right direction. That brings me to one of the most powerful and most overlooked comfort zone secrets. Here's a truth that changes everything. Breaking out of your comfort zone doesn't mean throwing yourself into chaos. That's not growth. That's just panic with good intentions. Psychologists call it the optimal anxiety zone, or the growth edge. It sits just outside your comfort zone, but well before the panic zone. In this zone, your stress hormones are elevated just enough to sharpen your focus, boost your motivation, and accelerate your learning without overwhelming your system. The sweet spot isn't way out there. It's one step beyond here. This concept is grounded in the Yerkes-Dodson law, a foundational psychology principle showing that performance peaks at moderate levels of stress, not zero and not extreme. Research from Harvard Business School shows that people who operate in their growth edge consistently, not recklessly, outperform both those who stay comfortable and those who overwhelm themselves with massive leaps. Map your own 3 zones right now. Comfort zone, what feels automatic and easy. Panic zone, what makes you freeze and shut down. Growth edge, what makes your heartbeat just a lal. It'll faster, but you could do it if you had to. That middle list, that's your growth menu. Choose 1 item per week. Not the scariest, not the easiest, the just right challenging one. And finally, the most powerful long-term strategy. Because all of this only works permanently if you have this last piece in place. This last one is the secret that makes everything else permanent. Without it, every strategy in this video will fade within weeks. With it, your entire relationship with discomfort changes forever. The ultimate goal isn't to tolerate discomfort forever. It's to redefine what feels comfortable. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world aren't the ones who never feel fear. They're the ones who have expanded their comfort zone so consistently that doing hard things has become normal, even enjoyable. Their identity has upgraded. Growth is their comfort zone. This is backed by neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to physically rewire itself based on repeated experience. Neuroscientist Dr. Michael Merzenich at UCSF showed that consistent, graduated challenges cause the brain to grow new neural pathways, making previously terrifying actions feel routine within as little as 66 days, the real average for habit formation, according to research from University College London. Build a discomfort practice. Each morning, do 1 small thing that makes you mildly uncomfortable. Before 10 a.m., a cold shower, an honest message, a 5-minute workout when you don't feel like it. Not because these specific actions will change your life, but because you are training your nervous system to accept discomfort as normal. Over 30, 60, 90 days, your threshold expands. The big scary things stop looking so big. The scary things you run from today, in 6 months, they'll barely register. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1, your brain is biologically wired to fight your growth. Name the resistance. Number 2, comfort zones shrink when you don't expand them. Audit your avoidances. Number 3, staying comfortable too long erodes your identity. Vote for the new you daily. Number 4, inaction carries massive hidden risk. Flip your risk calculation. Number 5, the 2-0 second courage rule bypasses fear before it locks in. Count and move. Number 6, the growth edge, not chaos, not comfort. 1 step beyond here. Number 7, make discomfort your new normal through daily practice. Expand the bubble. Remember, your future doesn't care how comfortable your present feels. It only responds to what you do. You have everything you need to start this today. The only difference between who you are right now and who you could be is a series of small, brave decisions made consistently over time. Don't wait until you've wasted another year wondering what would have happened. Start with just 1 uncomfortable action today. Just 1. I promise you, 12 months from now, you'll look back at this moment as the day everything started to shift. If this video hit different for you, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. Subscribe if you want more real, science-backed tools for building a life you're proud of. And drop a comment below telling me, what's the one thing you've been avoiding that you know you need to face? I read every single one. And if you want to go even deeper on building unshakable habits and discipline, check out this video right here. It's the perfect next step. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.